Food and everything. And so we did it with the Legion.
Mr. Tom Bates.
What?
Yeah, Mr. Tom Bates, the guy that they tried to tell us about this veterans program he's organized. So he graciously came down to Chester and gave us just a little information on it. I told him that we got the items from the floor.
I was going to freak you out.
I know you did. What's the point of this land? This public land. The land is being sold.
I saw the deal about the BLM land, if you remember, it's all up north, it's part of the state.
Well, there was a thing on the radio this morning. There was 300 acres of public land around Glenrock.
Would you like me to turn it on? No, I'm good.
That's the BLM trying to get rid of public land. I don't think the BLM should be allowed to sell it, but that's beside the point.
All they said was, there were little parcels that were completely surrounded by private
My
land.
understanding, what was in Cumbers County
Why would you buy
in northern,
a
was in
parcel
northern.
that was completely surrounded by
Landlocked.
private land? Because you can't get to
You
it.
couldn't
Well,
buy the
yeah,
land.
you can't stop it from getting to it.
Private land.
Because private,
I know, I was emptying out the mailbox, and nobody ever checks.
everything I saw that was, what they were talking about was in northern Cumbers County. Well, northern Cumbers County is around
Yeah, that's around Glenrock. Oh, this is close to Douglas, you know.
the whole state.
It is cold. Dang. What's that? Vial. What'd you say? Oh, I thought you mumbled something. It must have been them behind you.
And did you hear that Nebraska is considering draining Flaming Gorge Dam to recuperate their missing water?
That had nothing to do with Nebraska.
Now, isn't that the stupidest thing you ever heard?
It's not Nebraska, it's going down the Colorado River.
Oh, well, that's close to
That's going the wrong way. That's on the wrong side of the state border.
But isn't that disgusting?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely disgusting. And by the way, Bruce, I'm expecting you to be the first person to sign up for the 100-mile cycle.
No thanks.
I mean, I'll be along on the four-wheeler, but you.
Yeah, I ain't doing no 100-some miles.
How about you, Junior? You signing up?
Oh, you bet. I'll be right behind you.
You better believe it. I might like last on a bicycle for boss.
You know what? I bought one of those electric bikes at the Main Street auction. I gave it to Doug because I was afraid if I got on it, I'd fall over. It looked like Artie Johnson on Lap-In. But I suppose I could ride it in a 100-mile race.
I have no business on a bicycle going anywhere.
Going up Mormon Canyon, clear out on the top
Oh,
of
shit. Yeah, I
the
saw
Medicine
that.
Bow and out on the Medicine Bow Flats. No, I don't think so.
I don't think
You
so.
know, they used to do that when
Yeah, they had all the races out of Casper.
out of Casper, and they did all of that. And I'll never forget, we had this whole room full of, first of all, people from outside of the Western region, and also some foreigners, and they were trying to tell them, okay, you're going to go down this road and you stay to the right because there'll be rubber mats so that you'll be able to get past the cattle guard. Well, they said, do the cattle guards carry guns?
Submachine guns, be careful when they
Yeah, we said, be real careful. Cattle guards will shoot you.
Well, they said on the application they expect 200 people. That's more than 10
Bruce,
Always looking for volunteers.
Amy's daughter is sick.
As you knew,
She cannot be here tonight, but Tim just said he was just doing an update, so Tim will be here for executive session.
Okay.
Okay.
So what are we going to do, Judy, when the trees all freeze? stand out in the front yard and cry, get this chainsaw out? What do you think?
Well, my cherry trees all in bloom, my apple trees all in bloom.
See if they make it through the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I don't know. 1920s, a little nippy trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say that.
Well, I think this happens more frequently than not.
Well, that
Here,
usually
how many
happens.
times do we lose all of our lilac?
Well, the lilacs are all leafed out. And they're
Yeah,
cut
mine
down.
are.
So they're going to get, we won't see any lilac.
Well, for those
It'll freeze
Because
them.
of the freezing?
What's coming down, that'll get them.
Wind is awful today.
You're going to need your coat by Thursday morning.
Oh, really?
and your mittens.
Low at 27 on Thursday and low at 21 on Friday.
Are we supposed to get any snow?
Yeah.
Chance of some
An
snow
inch,
back.
maybe,
We'll
maybe,
see.
maybe,
23 on
maybe.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I love the maybe part of it.
Well, we're supposed to get
23
snow.
for high, 19 yellow Saturday.
I'm not too excited about it.
That sounds like fun.
Turn the heat up.
Absolutely. One day it's hot, the next day it's cold. You never know when you get up in the morning what you need to put on to survive.
I know. How many times do you
First thing I do when I get up in the morning is look and see what the temperature range is going to be and see if I can get by with one outfit, even if it's a matter of stacking it on earlier in the morning and then stripping it down as I go.
That's what I usually do.
Yeah, it's super dry.
And then by
Yeah, I layered up this morning. It was down to 2 layers by 3 o'clock.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, then it's nice and, I was going to say, and then it's nice and warm, then you walk outside and get hit with that wind and it's holy
When it was blowing
schmoly.
bad here, I had to go up into Rolling Hills. It's smoking up there.
Or I opened everything to let it drop through. Because of lines down. But it was cool. The race was on, and it was still 75. Yeah, lilacs will do that. But I have my legs. I won't be.
well, I told my roses a couple weeks ago they were stupid.
You better keep them covered up.
No, I just told them they were stupid. They didn't listen. So I'll tell Saturday. See,
We usually have ceiling fans, not Nelson.
We're doing that the 23rd, right? Budget? That's my board meeting. Hospital, I thought it was the last, there's 5 Thursdays this week. They go 4th and then, I thought it was the last one. I'll probably come to the budget instead.
Yeah. Budget's
If
kind
I
of
go there,
important.
I don't want to miss the first budget.
Because that's the one where we go through all the allocations.
Yeah, I don't want to miss that. If they want to change it to the 30th for them, I'll see if they will. If they not, I won't go.
I have one at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's baby better than they want. 4 o'clock in the morning.
What? They'll quit.
and do you see more scooters and bicycles are coming out?
Unfortunately.
They just terrify me.
Well, the one thing they're being driven by people who don't know or pay attention to the traffic. The kids just go
They just
100 miles an
cut,
hour.
and they just cut right across the intersection.
Well, and that's one of the things, and it hasn't been effectively addressed. The state legislature needs to go in and define exactly what they are. So they can fit under the statute. Do they have to have a license, or do they at least have to follow?
Should have to follow the rules and regulations.
Well, even if just a bicycle should.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
And they should. We should enforce that. I don't know why we don't, but
I used to little kids that live across the street and have these little motorcycles that are
Like after
and race up and down the street.
And one day I thought of it on those things and go zooming
Well,
right down the middle of the
those
street.
shouldn't be in the street or on the sidewalk or anything else. Those should be on the driveways of the driveway.
Right in the dirt
Yeah,
somewhere.
those little plastic things.
I thought that was terrifying.
But and then it'll be somebody else's fault when somebody gets hurt.
When somebody gets run over.
As a senior citizen, you hear all these people, you're doing everything you're supposed to do correctly. Oh, man. Must be summer. Probably aren't going to be done at 5:45, Bruce.
Depends how long your report is.
Depends on your report.
I have a leaning report for you today.
The lean one?
It's either 5 minutes or 50 minutes, one of the
A
two.
leaning report.
Whatever.
What you got on here? A bunch of booze. Catering.
And you're signing up for the 100-mile bike race.
Oh, good boy, we can come cheer for you.
We'll go cook for him. That's about it.
Mine's the 600-yard bike.
The 600-yard.
Mine might be one lap around the park.
I don't even know if I can make it one lap around the park. You'd have to have a track.
I don't know if I could bounce on one anymore, let alone ride it
I want to
somewhere.
go do the ones with the hills on them. Going down.
I could probably do it on an electric bike.
Could you imagine riding up how bad breakneck is up the top of Box Elder out of the top onto the flats?
No.
Who thinks? And then come back down off the other side.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Good for them. That's all I got. Good for them.
That's totally insane. I'll see you in about a month.
Sleeping bag.
There's a lot of dehydrated foods.
Probably call them.
And now I'm going to the sewing book. Not too bad. How do you know?
Hey, you know,
100 miles like
they're
that, you gotta be
filling
kidding
the
me.
niche.
3 years in a row.
I know. People are crazy.
Each his own age.
Chevy, are you Easter egged out?
Yeah, it's amazing that it only takes less than 2 minutes for 5.
All that work. Yeah. Uh-huh.
To disappear.
But I did find one. They left one.
Was it a super duper prize?
Yes, it was.
Ooh.
They left one. I was like, oh.
A picture of margaritas on the deck or something?
It was in the rocks, and I was cleaning up weeds. I'm like, oh, there's one.
I wondered how that was going. Guess I'll find out.
I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Would you please rise and say the pledge with us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additions or deletions? There's a motion to approve council meeting minutes for March 23rd and work session April 6, 2026.
I move we... Wow, that was shocking.
That's
I move we approve the council minutes from March 23rd and the work session from April 6th as presented.
There's a motion. Is there a
Sorry.
second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Moving on to reports. Councilwoman Culling.
A couple of things. I went to the auxiliary meeting of the veterans today, and they brought up a few things to mark down on our calendars. May 16th is Poppy Day, so the members of the auxiliary will be out around town giving out poppies and accepting donations. They don't sell the poppies, but they do accept donations. June 12th is Women's Veterans Day, and the auxiliary will be taking women veterans from Glen Rock to lunch on that day. For Memorial Week, May 23rd, before Memorial Day at 9 a.m., the auxiliary will be at the cemetery, and flags will be placed on the graves if anybody wants to show up and help put the flags out. They put out like 300 of them. There's a lot to do. And then they pick them up the afternoon after Memorial Day, which brings us to the memorial ceremony on May 25th. And it will be up at the cemetery as usual, so I'm sure we'll get more information on that. I attended the Municipal and County Joint Powers Board meeting on April 8th. They talked some about replacing Code Red and some E911 updates, but those are in the future, so nothing to get too excited about. Health Department wanted us to know that RSV has had an uptick. They've had some kids from Wyoming flown out of state because of RSV. I personally know of 2 ladies in Glen Rock that within the last week have been diagnosed with RSV, so it is something to be concerned about. For adults, but not like us old, but just adults, it's just like that bronchitis, but the older you get, or the younger you get, the more serious it is, so it is something to think about. Tourism Board talked about the possibility of having inter-county golf tournaments where the tournament would go from place to place. They're just in the planning stages of that with the state tourism boards. Joint Justice Center just has their usual issues with leaking pipes. Jim Willicks talked about EWC and the beam signing ceremony, which will be Tuesday, August 14th at 4 p.m. at EWC, and everybody's invited to sign the beam before it gets up there, because once it's up there, it's going to be difficult to put your name on. So if you want your name on it, you better get there while it's still on the ground. Talked about Bright Night, which is the solar power, and Settler. They're both being held back until probably the second quarter of 27 before they get started on that, which means obviously the monies that we've got from impact funding we won't get till probably then the third quarter at the earliest. Now, Prometheus, which is the data center that's going in at the county line, apparently is moving right along. That is not subject to any impact money, so we don't have anything for that. They're saying they're going to have 2,000 workers needed, including 500 plumbers and 500 electricians. Wow. It's going in right at the county line. The data center itself will be on the Converse County side, and on the Natrona County side, they're building a 500-unit workers.
Temporary housing.
Temporary housing where they're going to build the power station at.
Yeah, and that's going to be on the Natrona County side.
You know where the power station port's going to be?
On the
It's going to be on the
Converse
Converse County. All of it's going to be on the Converse County side because all of the land is, Russ, what is it? It's some sort of special
Oh,
grant or something.
I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it's
It's
all
on
on
the,
our site.
yeah. The power station for it, they will hook to electricity from what we understand to operate their office space, but only their office space. And then to actually power the data center, they're talking about bringing 16 semi-trailer mounted gensets in to run off of a natural gas line that the gas company is going to put in for them. That's a lot of power, 16 semi-trailers.
Yeah.
And the water system is going to be almost totally self-contained.
From non-potable.
Yeah, with non-potable water. The only potable water that they'll be using is just for like toilets and drinking fountains and that sort of thing for the office space. They're also talking about, instead of using 2026, they're talking to the federal government and state DOT about putting in an exit at the bridge that goes nowhere and coming off of that area, and they'll have a direct link from there. And both the feds and the state YDOT apparently are very positive about doing that. So
That's Russell Gordy's access to the Middle Range. What are you talking about?
I have no idea, but we all know the bridge to nowhere. Now it may go someplace. Oh, and any work on the exit will be private funded by the people who are building the data center.
Okay.
And I think that's everything.
So Judy, have they resolved their source of this self-contained water?
Evidently, they're going down into the ground and getting
Deep wells again?
non-potable water that then they will.
Deep well plan is still on.
Yeah, I guess.
Madison Formation.
Yep.
Yeah. And it'll be non-potable water, and it'll be a closed system, so it'll just rotate back down. So that's what they're talking about. And I think that's everything that I had.
There. Councilwoman Nunn.
Yes. First, we need to discuss the leaning flagpole. The sheep herders have requested that a flagpole be installed in the town park, not only for their annual event, but to show respect for our country at all events in the town park. It would seem that given that the town owns the Sharps property, including the leaning flagpole, we should remove this pole and reestablish it in the town park in an appropriate spot. Elevate Glenrock. Saturday night, Elevate Glenrock hosted a dinner that they prepared excellent food to recognize business people who serve our town and our community. Those recognized were Rising Star Award, Treebees, Community Impact, ECI, 2026 Volunteer of the Year, Guardians of the Children, Economic Development, Eastern Wyoming College, Leadership Award, Glenrock Motorsports, and Business Excellence Award, Homax. So thank you to all the Elevate people who dedicate time to support our local businesses and promote our town. It was a very interesting event. Easter egg hunt. Many happy families with happy children were found at the Easter egg hunt. Egg at the town square. A job well done, Chevy. Thank you. You were a nice bunny person. And a very special guest tonight, Mr. Tom Bay, is with us to discuss the Patriot Express honors trip that he is sponsoring and helping with. Thank you for coming to share your program with us. That's it.
Thank you. Councilman Kincaid.
I don't have any reports tonight.
Okay. Councilman Delgarn.
Nope, I got nothing. Hasn't been talked about already.
Tammy, clerk.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have been accepting the Corbly applications. Those are due to me by May 8th.
Which?
Corbly.
Corbly?
Jean Corbly.
Corbly scholarship applications. I'm also accepting the community gas, the choice gas selection forms until the 20th. I have to have all of that information in by the 21st. I've been the allocation requests have been trickling in. I think the deadline was last Friday, so we should have everything we're going to be getting. Let's see. The NUI meeting is this Saturday in Gillette. If any of you have checked your email, I forwarded you information on that. They just sent, I think, the agenda today. I've been working with Graves to finalize performance management, pay scale, and other policies, so we'll be getting that information out to you guys shortly. We just received all the WAM JPIC renewal information, so I'll be working on that. Been looking at budget stuff, and then just a reminder that the budget work session is scheduled for the 23rd. That's all I have.
Tammy, do we know anything about that community gas $6,000 thing that we get from them?
We get it every year, but we won't get that until later.
Till later in the year?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember when we got it.
Depends on what, isn't always the same amount.
Yeah, it fluctuates a
It
little
fluctuates
bit.
some.
Okay, thank you.
Kelly, treasurer.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Finished compiling our census report for the government. It's all based on payroll information. It's a fun one. And working on the budget and trying to get all the allocations compiled and ready to go into binders, and we can discuss when we have our meeting.
John, Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. 4th Street project is continuing on Elk. They've been putting in meter pits and getting that tied up. I just talked to their foreman today. They're going to try and tie in the new pipe on Elk Street probably tomorrow or the next day, so that it'll all be, and they'll abandon the old line. They also are working on concrete in some places that they had the sidewalks tore up, a few other spots. The storage building is coming along pretty good. I don't know if you've gone by there. Quite a bit of it's finished. They have had trouble getting concrete, I guess. So they hadn't got the mezzanine poured yet, but it's ready for them to pour. I do believe they told me that they'll be pouring that tomorrow. And then the fire hall will be poured. The floor in that will be poured Wednesday, was their projection. We'll see if they can get their concrete. The restrooms, they're digging that, still digging the foundation. We had a little issue that I talked about, but I think we got that resolved. Visionary will be back in town. They've sent out locates. They'll be probably starting up in 2 days. There's a different contractor that's going to do it. He's not going to just punch holes in the ground. He's going to actually bore holes in the ground. So hopefully he can be a little more accurate. Let's see how that goes.
I've heard good things about the new contractor.
At Atlantic, yeah. We finished putting up all our antennas for our new SCADA comms. We have everything working except the link from the water tower to town hall on the new stuff, because I have to get, next Friday I have an appointment with Rick Lesser, who's doing some work for me, and Jared will be down here to get that linked in down at town hall here, so that it'll all be on new then. We did go to a meeting last week. The mayor, myself, and Bill went to a meeting at CEPI in Casper. We discussed cybersecurity for our SCADA system. Found out how a couple loopholes that I'm not covering very good. I think that's going to be nonstop forever. But things we're going to work on. Might try and stiffen that up a little bit. That's about all I got, unless you have questions.
When's Big Broom, or did I miss it?
No, you haven't missed it, and I don't know. That's up to...
In May.
All I know is I got to pick up a lot of crap when that comes on.
I just can't remember if it was in April or May.
No, it's May.
11th.
I think I pick up trees on the 8th, so it's the following week, the 11th through the 15th.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, Lyle, building inspector.
Evening, Mayor and Council. 28 building permits for the year. Golf course, if you haven't been up there to the clubhouse, it's looking pretty nice. They're ready for a CO to occupancy, so looks pretty good. Jared was up there tying in their cameras and whatnot here this last week, so they're getting really close. Looks good. They did apply for an electronic sign, and our code really doesn't cover it. So we're going to meet with the Planning Commission, throw that at them, and come up with some rules for noise pollution and
Light.
brightness of a sign, and whatever rules we should come up with, we'll try and come up with them.
Where's the sign supposed to be? Where are you going, what do they want
Well,
it?
they were going to put it originally facing the street, and now they're going to put it facing east, which is what they should do. So typically you shouldn't put it facing residential neighborhood.
Right.
If you can help it, so that's going to help. And it'll help it for wind too, so. But as far as what should the rules be, we need to come up with them. So, Cinema Cafe is coming along pretty good, looks nice. They got quite a bit of work left to do, but it's coming along. It's going to be probably a good addition to the town, so. Big Room, 11th through the 15th, starting to hand out invitations to participate, so that's coming. Lincoln Building, it's going really good. It's pretty clean up there now. They're still tearing out some old windows, and they're tearing out some trim and rooms, but it's 90% done is what it looks like. So that's way better than it was. And we're going to put a note in the paper for the Planning Commission. We got an empty seat right now, so got to fill that seat. So that's about all I got.
Okay. Chevy,
Okay.
coordinator.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As noted, we did have the Easter egg hunt, which went very well. There were 5,000 eggs, and we gave out 12 Easter basket prizes and 8 chocolate rabbit prizes. So it was really fun. Quick, but good. Other than getting ready for the square, getting everything cleaned up and ready to go, May 23rd will be the opening splash pad day for that. And April 20th, I'm going to start advertising for summer staff.
Okay. Calder, Chief of Police.
Evening, Mayor and Council. A couple things I wanted to call some attention to this week is National Communications Appreciation Week. Our dispatch center here runs calls and radio for law enforcement, the fire department, as well as EMS locally. So they do quite a bit. Probably don't get enough recognition even from me, but they are definitely people worth thanking if anybody gets the opportunity. So I know they're personally responsible, a number of them, for getting me home a few times. So owe them a lot. Also, ironically, it is National Animal Control Officer Appreciation Week, so it's kind of a battle there as to who we celebrate more, but
There's more telecommunicators.
they're only one at a time, though, so Stuart tends to...
But there's more
He works with me
dogs.
Monday through
Dogs.
Friday, they twitch, I don't know. Anyway. what's
There's
that?
more dogs, so I think Stewart wins.
Yeah, there's way more calls that come in, though, sadly. Anyway, back and forth, that's a battle there. But if anybody gets the opportunity, those guys deserve some thanks, I think, from everybody. So if you have a chance, please do so. Wanted to bring up that we participated in the Chili Cook-Off fundraiser event at the high school on April 1st. Our red chili received 3rd place. Our green chili received 3rd place. And the only one that really matters, the People's Choice, we received 1st place. So bringing home the goods from those that we serve, I think. So we did have training over the weekend on our new red dots for our pistols. The transition training went really well, and everybody that participated in a qualification afterwards, and there were improvements all the way across the board. So that definitely paid off already. But outside of that, just preparing for the budget.
Okay. We'll move on to items from the floor. Is there any items from the floor this evening?
Hello, Mayor, council members, Chief. First of all, how many of y'all been to the museum in Du Bois? My name is Tom Day, and I formed a nonprofit called Patriot Express Honor Trips. I'm also a trauma-informed coach to prevent suicide among veterans and first responders. When I graduated the program, we graduated at the museum. And sitting there last May, a few of us sat there and thought, you know, they have honor flights to D.C. Why don't they do honor rides to this museum? It's a world-class museum. It's the world's largest private collection of military vehicles. And it's so much more than just vehicles. It's a storybook. I formed the nonprofit to have an all-expense paid trip, overnight bus trips for veterans and first responders. You see VFWs, you see American Legions, you see other military veterans, and they all seem to be separated. But no matter what campaign, we're all veterans. I'm a 23-year military veteran, combat veteran, and 63% of your veterans that leave the military go into first responder roles. I did 10 years as a sheriff's deputy on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It was then that I realized I had an issue. But I guess you can say my passion is veterans and first responders need a place to connect. They need to be able to have someone to talk to, somebody that knows the language that they're speaking. And I feel like these bus trips will provide that for veterans and first responders. I've even opened it up to active duty and reserve because they don't teach past campaigns in schools anymore. And your other older veterans, no disrespect, are dying out. And their stories aren't being carried. They're not being told. So I opened it up to active duty and reserve so those younger veterans can learn from the older veterans. And you've all been given a flyer of what we do, what we're all about. And just to give you an itinerary, I booked 3 trips for this season. The first trip is already booked. The governor and his wife, First Lady, are providing a steak dinner for the veterans on that night. And they're all being presented a challenge coin that we especially had made for veterans and first responders. They need to have the time to be recognized, the time for people to say thank you, but mostly they need the time to talk to each other, to realize that they're not alone, to have that connection. When we leave the military or law enforcement, we sit at home and we miss the camaraderie that we once had. I believe this will reestablish it to open up communication so other things don't happen, such as them making a decision that they can't change. So other than that, that's what Patriot Express Honor Trips are. You have the flyer. I'm not going to ask for any money. I'm not going to turn it down either. My concentration is to load those buses. So my challenge is to you, if you have veterans in your community or first responders, have them go on these trips. Sponsor them to go on these trips. It costs about $260 for a veteran or a first responder to go on these. And reach out into your communities. Choose those people and have them go on those trips. They can go online to our website, patriotexpresshonortrips.com. They can register that way. And they can go to our Facebook page also to see what we're all about. Any questions?
Is this primarily for Wyoming-based people at this time?
Right now,
Or Central Wyoming?
For right now, we're only 10 months old. It's strictly for Wyoming, based out of Casper. As of today, we had our board meeting before this one, and we had 23 registrations from out of state. We've even had 6 from other countries, but I can't float a bus from Sweden. I'm hoping to expand this. I've had Colorado and Utah reach out to me. Last week we were down at the Air Force Base in Cheyenne. They were ready to load buses right then and there. So it is reaching out, and that's my vision. I hope it does. I hope it carries on long after I'm gone. Because not everybody can go on honor flights. Not everybody can fly. And again, not everybody can get to D.C. But this is an opportunity that Wyoming has. I mean, it's a gem sitting there in Du Bois that I feel like thousands of people don't even know exist. And I just want to reach it out there.
Very cool. And you overnight in Du Bois?
It's overnight. We've booked hotel rooms. Dan Starks owns the museum. He's building a hotel right next to it, and it's due to be opened the first part of 27. And that's a 70-room hotel. For these 3 trips we have booked, we've blocked rooms at the Stagecoach, which is right there if you're familiar with Du Bois, so that's where they'll be staying. We do offer medical. We have a doctor that's volunteered his services. We've had 2 nurses that's volunteered their services. So everything's based on the premise of an honor flight, but it's just an honor ride.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Are there any other items from the floor this evening?
Council and Mayor, I'm with the Deer Creek Horse Club. I'm the president, Tay Johnson. We're looking to do like a spring cleanup out there, and would also like to. The kids would also like to paint the arena and do some stuff like that to help clean up and put some attention towards the stands. And was curious if it would be something that the town would do, is to buy a couple of gallons of paint and whatnot and let the kids paint it. Then we're also looking to maybe put up a little bit of shade out there on the east end, and we wanted to talk about like a manure pile or something we could make out there, and then buy some like wheelbarrows and whatnot, so that can be cleaned up and disposed of properly. Just making everything a little bit nicer out there for everyone.
Does the paint all have to be the same color? No.
Last time we painted the stands, yeah, I think it's all usually white paint that we get, isn't it? I'm sure we can come up. When were you planning on doing this, Tate?
Sometime in the spring. We just want to run it by you first, and then our next meeting is actually this Sunday, I believe.
I'm sure we can come up with some paint and stuff for you.
Okay.
Shouldn't be a problem.
If we could come up with like a spot to put some manure or something, or how would you want to do that?
Why don't you go up to the greens area at the landfill and talk to Danny up there? He's very much into composting and using manure and stuff like that, and he maybe could offer you some really good help on how to take care of the manure.
Right.
Just need a place to clean out.
Like just for everyone to clean up that way, and then put it like.
I would say probably come up with probably the west end up there would probably closer to the exit out of the arena and up there by the building. That way the Public Works can load it and haul it off.
Okay.
John's our manure expert, so all things manure. He's the expert.
And then is parking still restricted to the south side or across the creek, or if we were cleaning up, could we park over to the north side?
Parking just vehicles anywhere, or what are you talking about?
Like horse trailers and.
I would, right now we don't have anything going on out there. As long as you didn't park and have them down in the picnic area and that campground. So
right.
Anywhere around the arena out there.
Okay.
There's plenty of room out there right now. We just cut some trees down and we've mowed. So there's some fairly open space there right now.
Okay.
If you let us know. Yeah.
Right.
There's plenty of room out there to park a lot of that area. You guys mowed not too long ago. Don't know how fast it's going to grow, but these guys Public Works usually keeps an eye on it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then for the shade, could we put up some shade out there, or like some the deals that you guys have out at the town square?
Some of those.
The canvas.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of material that way bought for town square.
handicap with that is the wind.
Yeah, it just, you know, if you're going to have to come up with something, some pole systems to tie it to and out in there, so just depends on how big areas you're trying to shade.
No, none of those work, but the 4-point ones are way better than the tri-point.
Yeah.
Trying to not do the tri-points come off very easily, but our 4 points are solid.
So I guess my question is, are you asking us to put the poles in, or are you asking if we're okay with you?
No, I can, if you're all right with us doing it, we can do it.
I mean,
I don't have any problem with you putting some poles in out there to put some shaded areas. That's fine.
what do you need from us, basically? That's my question.
Permission, yeah.
Go forth and conquer.
Yeah.
No, we can do that too if you want. I mean, if you guys want to provide it, that's fine. I mean, we're a nonprofit.
If we got material left over that they could make some,
We'd have to buy it from him, but I'm sure I know he's got material.
why don't you check into that and
Okay.
let us know on that.
I'll just get with you and we'll figure out what size you're looking at. And then we'll
Okay.
come back to you guys with some numbers.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay?
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
You bet, thank you.
Did the sound system out there get upgraded even still?
Yeah, in and out.
But it's still working okay?
Yes.
Just didn't know if there's anything we needed to look at budget-wise for South Red, because we haven't done much out there for,
Just need, the sound system is still in good shape.
We were taking.
Be just some cleanup, really.
They wanted to ask about the sound system out there. Sorry, I didn't hear that part of it. But yeah, we were going to put up a sound system too, as well.
We have the speakers and the portable sound system that can be taken out there and used anytime you guys have an event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have a system set up.
Perfect. Sounds good.
may need tested out, but to make sure all the speakers work or whatever, but we did buy one to be used out there, and it just, the Public Works takes it out and sets it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Are we able to use the crow's nest up top?
We always set it up.
Do what?
Are we able to use the crow's nest up top?
That's where we hooked that in.
Oh, okay.
That's where all that
Not
stuff
the
is
little
supposed to
one?
go. It's supposed to go in the big one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. All right.
I think you guys can use whatever you want out there while you're out there. You've got the whole facility, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might be a few campers down along the creek, but yeah,
just blast them out with the sound system.
So
tune them up a little.
So does he just have to get a hold of you? Or do you guys know
The sound system, you'd have to get hold of Chevy or
to Chevy? So, and you guys work together? So if you're on the books, then Chevy can help you with that.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other items from the floor this evening?
I don't know if I'm on the agenda or if I'm supposed to just do it now. This is the Wyoming Child and Family Development. Yep.
Come on up, ma'am.
I got thrown into this at 4 o'clock today, so I apologize.
So you've had lots of preparation time. We're good.
You know, we can just go with it, right? I do have some handouts for y'all. I'm Annette Cooper. Good evening, Mayor and council members. I am an early childhood special educator with the Wyoming Child and Family Development Center. I cover Douglas, Glen Rock, Rolling Hills, Lindo, Lusk, and Wheatland for my services. I currently am representing the Converse County areas, and we are back saying thank you, first of all, for your donations last year. Your contributions allowed us to hire another ECSE, early childhood special educator, for this coming year, so we're really excited. I won't be traveling as much. I'm extremely thankful to y'all. We are required to match 3% of the grant money that we get for our services, which comes out to roughly $57,000 that we have to raise from local sources. The packet that you have in front of you has some numbers towards the bottom that show where we're asking to get some of that money from. We do have some other companies that are starting to help us out, so we're asking for $7,000 from y'all. We could definitely use more, but I know that's all they've asked in the past, and that's what we're going to ask again for this year. Our services reach, sorry, lost my train of thought. We reach multiple counties around the state of Wyoming. We do service all children between the ages of 0 and 5. We offer free screenings to the public, community, schools, families.
We provide occupational therapy services, physical therapy services, counseling services, speech language services. We cover it all from birth to 5. We do in-home services for those children between the ages of 0 to 3. That includes any children who are born with disabilities, premature babies, children who are born in conditions where they were either affected by drugs or alcohol. We support the families and give them the tools that they need to be successful and be successful parents. And then we also support our 3 to 5-year-olds in the center, but also out in the community centers. We have access to Grant Elementary. We service the preschool there. We service any preschool or daycare setting that has children who have needs. So we cover a lot of area. Last year we provided over $350,000 worth of services just in Glen Rock alone. So your contribution is definitely appreciated. Do you have any questions for me that I can try to answer?
You're so important in our community to our little kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've seen the work that this service did in Gillette, and it's just marvelous what it does to help little children and their families.
Thank you.
But they don't have to do the other.
I appreciate it. All right.
They don't have to do the other they already have. You can mix up this stuff.
Do you have any other questions?
Thank you very much, Annette.
There are contact numbers on there if you have any other questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Yes,
Yep.
thank you. Any other items from the floor this evening? If not, we'll move on to new business. First order of business is a 24-hour malt liquor permit for the Deer Creek Lounge for the Booster Club.
Can we do those first two together?
Well, if you guys are good with that, we can do both of those together.
Let's do them both together.
And they also have one for Deer, to have their permit, asking for their malt beverage and catering permit for Deer Creek Days. So is there a motion for those two?
I move that we approve these permits as presented to us this evening.
Okay, is there a second for those two permits?
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion this evening on those two?
There's nothing different than normal with them. The areas are all the same. I don't see any reason why we
it looks like it's all the same, what they normally do, so, yeah, it's pretty straightforward, their applications, so.
You guys have
same
anything to add?
that they use.
Do you have anything you need to say about them?
No.
Okay.
I did want to ask if I need to put in for the business as well. You know, in the past, it's just been like a town thing.
Open container for which part? For Deer Creek Days?
For Deer Creek Days.
Typically we do a resolution allowing
I was going to say, you normally do, like you say, a resolution that kind of covers the downtown area for them.
I mean, nobody has come to me to talk about it, so I guess I can reach out to Elevate and ask if that's what they would like.
I guess at this time, no. And if you do, we'll let you know.
Yeah. Okay, if there's no other discussion for those right now, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
You bet, thank you.
Thank you.
I gotta go get kids.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, our next order of business is for an open container permit for 1890 cycling.
I move we approve the open container permit because I would need it.
Before we get started, yeah. There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion for this?
I think this is an awesome event.
Yeah.
Anyone that wants to ride a mountain bike up those roads has got my great respect.
And ride that far.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a hard ride. They say they're going to have 200 people. I think that's fabulous.
They're going to start with 200.
Start with. I think all but one made it back last year. Yeah, all but one made it back last year.
How many were
We'll
there?
never find that one.
There was over 200.
Over 200. Where do they come from, Russ? Both
All over the place. I mean, she could answer more than us, but they come from all over the place. And they ride. They come to Town Park. They eat some Lions Club food. They drink some beer, have some awards, and go home.
I'm Tia. I'm the
Yes.
race director. That was my name up there.
Yeah.
Any questions?
it's all going to be set up the same as it has been in the
Yeah.
past. And as far as I know, there's not been any issues with it.
The wind blew real hard last year.
Yeah.
That was an issue, a little rain. Nothing from any other racer.
Do you have a lot of out-of-state people coming for this?
We do. We actually, I think right now our furthest is Missoula, Montana.
Excellent.
They drive down here and then ride. They
They
don't.
don't bike down?
Right down for a warm up, right?
Yeah, get warm up from Missoula.
Yeah.
And they get this all done in a day.
Yeah.
That is fabulous.
The 121ers go clear up into Albany, back down past Campbell Creek.
Jeez.
The last year, the winners did it in 7 hours and 24 minutes.
Oh, my gosh.
No, that was insane.
I wouldn't even be up the first hill yet.
I'd still be trying to get on the
I might make the interstate. But yeah, if there's no other questions, I'll call for a vote for this open container. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am. Our next order of business is, let me get to it. Resolution 2026-4, a resolution providing for the appropriations of unappropriated surplus funds and the transfer of other funds, whereas it appears there is it's necessary for the budget of the town of Glen Rock to be amended for the fiscal year July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2026, taking into account certain unappropriated surplus funds. It is therefore hereby resolved by the governing body of the town of Glen Rock, Wyoming as follows. 1. General Fund Account 101.5510.5820. General Fund Community Development, Glen Rock Main Street, increased by the sum of $300,000. The source is unappropriated surplus funds. This is a specific to payments to the Glen Rock Veterans Park project. General Fund Account 101.5440.5806, General Fund Town Square events increased by the sum of $92,000. The source is from unappropriated surplus funds. This is specific to entertainment and equipment for the
Semi-quincentennial.
Yeah, there you go. That's a mouthful. Need to just. In addition to items 1 and 2, a transfer needs to be made between the following accounts: $1,300,000 from streets, capital projects for water, capital projects. No appropriation of surplus funds is needed for this item. For instructions from our auditor, letter is attached. Funds need to be withdrawn from investments and placed in our pool cash reserves as follows. $4 million from Ohio Star Fund, allocated as follows. Water Fund, $954,000. Sewer Fund, $3 million. Bronco Building Fund, $40,000. Highway Safety Fund, $2,000. LID 3 Fund, $4,000. Passed and approved and adopted the 13th day of April 2026. Is there a motion?
I move we approve Resolution 2026-4.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a couple questions here. This Veterans Fund, is this the same thing as this memorandum of understanding that we have with the Main Street people, that this is a loan to be paid back?
This is for the bathroom, I believe, is it? Or is it for
It's for the two $150,000 payments.
the 2 payments? Okay, that is what it's for. Okay, yeah, that's for the 2 that they will pay back. Yes.
That's a payback fund on that one. And how are we paying for the bathrooms then?
Bathrooms were part of the building project that we loaded
That's all.
the storage, the fire hall, and the bathroom all into
That was all in one.
construction, and got a better price for doing all 3 of them together.
So do we need to have this memorandum signed between us and the Main Street people?
We
Or
already agreed to do it without that being signed.
Without-
We just need to make sure the funds are in there for when we make the next payment.
so the memorandum will just go in the garbage?
No.
No.
we take care of it. As soon as we know that that's what we're going to sign. I don't know if it's been looked over by everybody yet, it was to be discussed.
Another question. What happened with the sewer fund? How do we get $3 million there?
It builds, that's part of your enterprise accounts. Your water, sewer, and
Your enterprise accounts and the general fund are all allocated separately, and it's just on the cash side. It's not bank rent. But there's been a lot of items paid out of the general fund that should have come out of sewer, so we've got to transfer it back, make everything right.
Wasn't it an accounting thing that it came up in the
Audit.
that that's what the accountants want, that's how the accountants wanted Kelly to handle that?
That's how they wanted to do it.
So it isn't that we've done anything where we just,
And this is probably a really dumb question. What's the LID fund?
Local Improvement District. And to my knowledge, since I've been here a little over 8 years, we've never used the LAD or the LIB. So they might have been done as a special improvement districts at some point. Probably should go away.
Do you know what that is, Bruce?
no, I do not. They've been around for a long for as far as I can remember.
So do we need to keep that if we don't know what it is or we're not using it?
It'll probably get to go away soon. We're trying to figure out how to get rid of some of those special funds that we never touched.
We probably have a different name for something else that they used to use those for.
Yeah. Some of the LIDs were funding for streets, water, sewer, streets, sidewalks back in the past.
When they used to cost that amount.
Yeah, when we were still all gravel. Yes. So if there's any other questions? If not, I guess I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. I believe our next order of business is bills and claims. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we pay our bills.
There's a motion to pay our bills. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion on bills and claims?
I've got a couple of questions, just
Okay.
because I'm being nosy, I guess. The one for Chad Beer Construction, what was that?
That is for our state bills through Chad Beer.
Oh, okay. And then Frost Solutions?
That's the banner.
It's the other station.
Weather Station?
Weather stations. That was put into play.
Randy did that. We got a grant to put them in, and there's other stuff that we have several weather stations in town so they can tell what's going on during inclement weather before. We don't have to get the guy on call out at 2 in the morning and drive around and decide whether we need to get out and plow or not. The weather station gives them that information.
Oh, cool. I didn't know we had those.
Yeah.
And the last one, I usually don't ask any questions about bills. What is the Wyoming State Land Investment Board annual lease, that we lease?
Our water lease on the
Okay.
I had one question. Why is the utility at the Bronco building so much higher than anything else? The Lincoln building, down at the Lincoln building. It's almost double anything else.
What's that?
The utility
Which
bill,
utility?
where it says utilities, there's like 200 and something, and then I think the next high one's 100. Are they using more electricity?
That's actually to us, it's for just water and sewer. That's the metered amount.
That's the metered amount?
For the entire building?
For the entire building. Does that answer your question? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions on bills and claims? Unless you want to shut the bathrooms down.
We'll have a downtown one soon, so maybe we can spread it around.
Well, we'll be paying for that too before
Oh,
it's over
good.
with.
Maybe it'll be more than the Lincoln building is, and they'll look good.
Okay. If there's no other questions, I'll call for a motion to pay our bills and claims. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Our next order of business is an executive session for legal matters. Is there a motion?
Can I ask one question first, Mayor?
Sure.
Did you have something tonight, Jeff, or were you just here?
I have a question for you guys.
Then why don't you get up during items from the floor?
Well, sometimes we call on him during department heads.
I didn't know what the plan was. And I spoke with Colter Mayor, Council, our one command truck, we just dumped $5,000 in the motor, and it ran for about a night on that fire out west of town, and wasn't running right. Took it back in, and what they fixed is working good. But there's other problems. It's one of them 6.4 liter diesels, and at some point in time,
notorious for going banks of injectors.
well, we just had injectors put into this.
Well, it'll do it again.
It's not coding for that, though. That's the problem. It's something else, and at some point in time, it doesn't make good sense to put good money into bad. So we talked to Coulter this afternoon a little bit. There's a Tahoe out there that's getting ready to get retired, and just kind of talk to you guys a little bit about maybe acquiring that for a time until we can get something better or what have you. But and then in the budget request, not a budgeted item, but it is in there out of retained to maybe pick up another command unit. So we bought that one used, and we got 8-10 years out of it. I don't know what it is, but it's probably not time to keep putting good money into a 2008. So guess I'd just ask you guys if you'd part with that Tahoe we can work something out on that.
You got to quit driving them like they're stolen.
I drive mine that way all the time, that's fine.
Well, yeah, but it's a county truck.
So the question is, the black one, the white one, which one?
Is that black one parked out at the square?
Or is it this one? Is it?
So Coulter, what do you usually do with these vehicles when you retire them?
So these would be the ones that we either open up for auction or bidding, I guess. We've done them for bidding, we've tried trading them.
How much you tend to get for them?
Historically, nothing.
Nothing.
Not much.
And the fact
So
that
why
it's almost assets, you
So
can
why
get
do we just give
transferred.
it to the fire department if there's not going to be any
I was
significant
going to say
cash in for
that
it?
we can transfer position of
I
it.
don't get to make that decision.
So does the black one sitting out there, does it still have a radio in it, where you plan on leaving?
We're going to take those things out.
Okay.
It just, right now, all it has is a radio.
The radio's worth more than the vehicle.
But outside of that, it's
And then you're going to transfer your own radios into
We'll
it?
put our stuff in it, and at that point in time, and
So may I make a motion that we give the retiring Tahoe to the fire department to play with? I so move that we
There's a
do that.
motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Also second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on transferring that old Tahoe to the fire department?
So was it going to be transferred to the fire department or to the FSA?
it'll stay just like it is now. I think that truck that's going to go away is titled to the town. Without talking to Tammy, I'd almost guarantee it's to the town.
Title to the town, so it's really not even a title transfer, it's just
who houses it?
and move it over
Yeah,
insurance-wise or
in the
anything? or-
column under PD, FD, will be good to go.
And you're good with it?
Yeah, Jared was going to decommission anyway, so there's just, this will be less work, quite frankly. So.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're gonna market fire department so nobody thinks it's me?
Yeah, we'll get the police stuff taken off.
And put some fire graphics on it?
Yeah, we'll put something.
I
I
think
think we'll be a little different than we did last time on that black one, just because there was confusion about highway patrol and stuff.
I think it's a great use of a vehicle.
Well, for what we need to do with it, I have a hard time buying brand
Brand
new
new.
stuff to go beat around in the hills and tear up.
It won't have quite the clearance that your Ford truck did.
Well, that might not be a bad thing.
Limit
I
where
say
it can
quit
go.
driving them like they're stolen.
We learned a lot about 5 tons on that
Yep.
fire out west of town here just a little bit ago. So, okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
And did you guys vote on that? Did everybody, I heard the motion and the second.
We need to vote
Do we?
on the motion. We have a motion on
Yeah,
the
we have a
floor.
motion and a second now. Is there any other discussion on the?
Was your-
No, this was
Okay.
something, I wanted to ask a question.
But not about this?
But not about this. So we probably need
If
to.
there's no more discussion, I'll call for a vote on giving the police department vehicle to the fire department. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries.
Just real quick, we got an email from the counties talking about claiming Converse County surplus property for free. And to take advantage of the program, we must designate a contact person, and they will do the sign-up information with Converse County. Do we have a designated contact person?
Well, we don't. She sent that to me. In the past, we haven't really jumped on that. We're not at the top of the list, and it's usually like desks and...
Well, my only question is, does it hurt to have a contact person?
Yeah.
Just to, I mean...
Are you offering a name, Judy?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, I don't know that I'd be the most appropriate person, but I'd be more than glad to work with Karen on this, and I could be the designated contact person. But you're right, sometimes it's best, but I know they gave a truck to the cemetery district this last, 6 months ago. So you just never know what it is. And, I mean, maybe it's the shopper in me, the bargain hunter in me, but why not look? But you have to have a designated person to do that. So I was just wondering if we couldn't at least have a designated person.
Go find some good stuff, Judy.
I don't think we need to vote on that. We'll just
Yeah,
make you the designated person.
and that would be fine. I wouldn't mind doing that. Just, I don't want to hear anything when the rooms start filling up with all this cool stuff.
Oh, good. Oh, God, no. Now, there's a limit to your authority.
Oh, no.
Maybe we do need to vote on. Jeez. John, well, we just built an 8,000 square foot building. Don't fill it up right away.
Oh, come on. 8,000 square feet. I think we can get some stuff in there.
Yeah, well, half the bottom downstairs will be the bone depository.
Did you need a motion to move into executive session?
Yes, I need a motion to move into executive session because the attorney's here to speak to us.
I'll so move.
There's a motion to move into executive session. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. We'll move to upstairs for this one, and when we come back, we will not be making any motions to take care of any other business except for closing the meeting. If you guys will sign Kelly's paperwork real quick, we'll go upstairs.
It's my RS.
Okay. Just swap it so I don't forget it.
Yes.
I always take care of that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And you'll just tell Karen.
Is this one? About three.
I will.
All of a sudden, it just decides to leak. Yeah, I know. No worries. Okay, let's go upstairs and talk to Mr. Stubbson, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to lock you guys down.
Hey, your wife said I'd see you before she did. You are correct. She's full-timer now. She's the Lone Ranger. She's the Lone Ranger now since they fired that other guy. Anyway.
We think Colter. It's always so much fun, right?
I'm ready to go to bed now. That's
Yeah.
where I'm at. Oh, I know. That's not hard. Wait.
Just go check it out.
Do you want numbers ahead of time before I'm looking at I'm looking at Axon and stuff too. I was busy.
On the bottom of our budget.
Oh, cool.
That kind of stuff. So it's one advantageous plus the carcass and training stuff. It's actually a pretty good deal. But I still want to get that.
Okay. Did you see the
Yeah, we'll
box
see.
today?
We're still talking about whether
We got the chewy one. I just saw the one.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, before we get in the budget, we're good. And
I know when you see that.
What it's for.
One's two.
We're doing allocations, I think.
There was one I was accountable.
Yeah.
There was something that had batteries in it and the chewy.
Good. Good community drive.
Another
thing, the chewing and the other one.
If we do in fact have the fire season interface protect.
Let's hope not.
Over.
Yeah.
We don't cover that. 'Cause I don't think it's, we've banked that in the past. We haven't. I don't think it's right on. Hurrying to raise it.
Yeah. No worries. We'll.
Okay. Good. See you later.
Need a motion for somebody to close the executive session?
I move we close executive session.
Russ already got it. Do you want to second it?
Sure.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed by nay. Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn the council meeting?
Move to adjourn the council meeting.
It's the longest meeting we've had in
Yes.
10 years.
Yes.
And I didn't eat lunch.
Yeah. I'm getting hungry myself. So,
Who was the second? Did we get a second?
Did Margaret do it? Then I'll second it.
No,
did, she'll
you
second.
did it, and she said.
yeah.
That was on the first,
the first one, the second
closing
one,
the
I need the
executive
motion to
session.
second.
She got the adjourning the meeting.
Somebody second it.
Yeah. Okay. All those in favor for closing the meeting?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned.